When one party they call ADC. Let me tell you why they have to do that. It is difficult now for them to have it in PDP. All this has to do with presidential ambition. Can I get my ticket? The way PDP is now, it's not likely that Atiku will get ticket. Therefore, it's not comfortable. Then he goes to tell you, let's come, let's do a coalition against PDP. It's not correct.
You look
it is because he cannot get the presidential ticket under PDP.
What do we say about Senator David Mark?
To do what?
Senator David Mark,
What
who
coalition?
left the PDP, who has been in the PDP since its inception.
Can I tell you something? When we started having this issue of national chairman in North Central, there was pressure that the man could be the national chairman. We refused. Yes.
Why?
Why would you not refuse? What change will he bring to the party? He was the Senate president for 8 years. What are the things that happen? What is the improvement? I have told you here, I prefer somebody who has not had any position, who has come to tell me that, look, I'm doing this because this government, I want to help for a change, to achieve this and that. I will not listen to anybody who has been in power for donkey of years, who has refused to contribute anything to the development of the country. And now you come now to tell me this story, that look, we need to rescue this country. You were there, the country was sinking. You didn't rescue. What is that? The condition.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele. Nuisance.
I think he actually loves listening to his own voice a lot. Okay? So, but you also have to give it to him as well. Because the people we are talking about, they have these baggages, these thinking baggages that it should be so impossible, very difficult for any kind of like a sane person to defend them, no doubt. At least for the sake of that chat, that conversation, you can tell that the only driving anger of Wike, the only thing is that Atiku and what they did to him in that 2023. Because even when they tried to make him see that, okay, but it's not just about Atiku. You know, there are others. Who are the others? He went there to bring everyone because he wanted to go because you can't call that coalition. Coalition is because he can't get tickets. You know he can't get the ticket. No, hang on. You've talked about Atiku. What about others? Which others? David Mark. David Mark. Some people say we should make him the party chairman. We rejected him. We rejected him. Listen. Let me tell you. Like that. Oh more chai. If something happens and Tifnumbu loses that power, there are people that ordinarily are like, man, they want to see what Wike will be next. And others said, well, one thing it won't be is to become an ordinary Nigerian. It won't. There are those who are worse than him. So to so many of them, he has paid his due. So you that doesn't like him or something, expecting the system to at least punish him. No, the system doesn't punish criminals. So you're just being naive. So it's not, nothing is going to happen to him. At most, right before your very eyes, when you think you have chased Tifnumbu and his gang away, you will see the same characters responsible for, I mean, those who are with Tifnumbu, you will see them with whoever is taking over from him. And that is why reasonable people who are saying when revolution breaks out, that nobody should drag with a Wike with them. How many of you remember that time when Nigerians will be choosing who to pick on whenever revolution happened? So we say, Baba, I judge your law, please. Whenever that revolution starts, make nobody drag with a Wike with me. Me and my friends now with a Wike, we want old. Some will say, hey, may nobody drag Bukwari with me. Now Daura they go. but now they have officially confirmed him dead. Sure, you guys. So there are those who believe that the only way these guys can really, get the consequences for their actions, all of them, is when there is a revolution. But we'll see. So he was asked, then what is your plan for 2027? Then you met with you met with Judas Abure. So does that mean that, what's the plan? His response, quite vague, all right? But it's part of the chat. His response was that I won't tell you. Of course you can't. What are you going to tell them, right? You're going to tell them that you are going to face Tifnubu in 2027? Well, I don't think so. So, with a wiki.
State governor. I met with Ebonyi State governor. I met with Kogi State governor. So when you say, I don't remember these parties, they are not parties. So that the public will not say, I don't remember the names of these people. So that what I mean, well, there are two parties then that will make choice, since I was not going to support Atiku Abubakar. Because part of the problems we have, you people, when you ask questions, you will ask questions that people will fully, before they go home now and they begin to interpret. Governors came to me, they are my friends, we relate. I was a governor. They asked me questions, and I also asked them questions. How are you doing this? How are you doing this? When you were there, how did you do this? Now, he said Abure came, Abure. Of course, he's a politician. I'm a politician. What is wrong when politicians meet themselves? Just like you journalists you meet. Is there any crime that you meet?
So there's no political undertone to it ahead of 2027 general elections?
Undertone?
To the meeting.
Why would I want to tell you what I'm planning against 2027?
So you are planning something?
Why would I'm not a politician? But why should I come and let you know what I'm doing? Wait till the time comes.
The political interpretation to that meeting outside
is
that you are probably the hand that is stoking Julius Abure's confrontation or disagreement or dispute, if you prefer, with the candidate of the party, the Labour Party. Yes, you are the one stoking that crisis between the two of them.
So who's the one stoking the problem we have in our state? If I'm the one stoking the crisis, let me tell you. Anyway, I'm not here to help anybody who's my opponent. If they're having problems, it's my prayer that they should continue to have problems. Do you help your political opponent? Do you help your political opponent?
You're not politicians, Honorable Minister.
You're not what?
You're journalists.
They're not Nigerian, they're not politicians.
Journalists cooperate, but we don't know about politicians.
I can tell you the worst politicians we have are journalists. If you want me to give you that, I'll give you that.
Let's not go there.
There are even more politicians than we claim that we are politicians.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Nuisance leleyi. Nuisance leleyi.
So he's living in that bubble, and they are so convinced that they're gonna leave it for 8 years. Nothing will change. Nothing. In fact, the Ronukus are already saying that after Tifnubu finished in 2031, he will now pick somebody from the middle belt and make the person the next president for 8 years. After that, he will now bring it back, and he will now choose somebody from Ekiti, Oshun, Abiondo. Baba, the Lulu is strong, But yeah, that's how much confidence they have. That, you know what I mean? Like, all of them are doing coalition, are doing a collusion. You can't move Kolu. Kolu may be worse when it comes to governance, but when it comes to politics, he's a master strategist. An average Ronuku will tell you that. Yeah. So the rogbodion around, or should I say the controversy around Peter Obi's statement that, will serve just a single term of 4 years, because that's what the law says. The law says 4 years. It didn't say 8. So 4 years, renewable after 4 years. So if he chooses not to renew it or run again, right, he's not breaking any law. And why is it that 4 years? You think 4 years is not enough to make a significant shift from negative to positive as a country? So they are debating all of that. However, just like I said, that the fever of coalition. Fraudster Otobo Keyamo was on channels last night, where he was pretty much answering questions from Sheung. Questions like, what are you actually planning to do to are you planning to demolish the entire Lagos Muritala airport and rebuild it again, or you just want to carry out refurbishment and all that with $500 million? So it went on and on and on, and it was like, the idea of Tifnumbu is so good that anybody who wants to, all those who are attempting to remove Tifnumbu in 2027, they just have they stand no chance. Otobo Keyamo said that. Then he started rolling out, stats like, for instance, their coalition is Atiku sponsored. And it's going to be a great disappointment for the obedient when Atiku finally uses what he knows how to do best to become the candidate of their ADC. So what will be the lot of Obi? If Peter Obi decided to be, if they made Peter Obi their candidate of their ADC coalition, that they can't sell him in the north. The Northerners are not going to support him. Back in 2023, the reason why he got what he got as votes allocated to him was because Christians were offended by the Muslim ticket. And that's why they voted for Obi. This time around, according to Bukeyamo, they are very smart. Now they have realized that, Muslim ticket is nothing, because the Christians now, they realize that Tifnumbu's wife is a pastor. So because of that, they are changing their mind about Obi. They don't believe him anymore. So it's going to be Tifnumbu in the north. And the obedient have taken that up as usual, because they are very much aware the multi-billion naira project, the media sort of like a capture project, where you're going to see fake account trolls, misinformation being amplified as right information, misrepresentation of data, which is going to be like a source from their government. They're going to have something similar to what they did in 2015, where Barack Obama's campaign manager also was hired as a consultant for the APC, where they're going to be driving, I'm not sure if you are going to be ready for it to share you get. So they are very sure of that. And the obedient are like, well, they were not around in 2015. Right? They emerged 8 months before 2023, and therefore they were not mostly like really prepared. So they will give, Tifnumbu and his media, wherever, a run for their money. So they started first sharing the recent visit of Obi to the northern part of Nigeria, and then and more. So I'm going to share some of them with you, since we are covering that part. So the first part here. Hold on. Hello.
Allah ya sa ya rasu kowa ya huta gaba ki ya Allah duk wanda zaka gyara kasar Najeriya ta dalilin shi Allah ka bashi shugabanci duk wanda ta dalilin shi kasar nan za ta lalace a ci gaba da yaki ana satar mutane ana kashe-kashen rayuka Allah ya saka ban zaɓe ya rasu wanda bai ce abu ba shi ma Allah ya haɗa da shi wanda shi ne alheri Allah ya bashi in ba shi ne alheri ba Allah ya saka ban zaɓe ya rasu ya Allah duk dai ba shi ne alheri ba Allah ya saka ban zaɓe ya rasu Allah ya ba wanda zai zane wani ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة.
All those prayers that will be sounding like curses, right? So it was kind of like praying that if that anybody who is going to get there, make life harder for the people, you know, may they kind of like die before the 2027, so they won't have the chance of making it to the 2027 than to become the president of the contraption. So that's one. They have gone as far as, I mean, come to think of it, there's a way propaganda actually works. So if you could think about it, so right, and not until, you know, it has achieved its aim before people will begin to kind of reason and say, Omo Tony Osha is true. The general, I believe, is that the Northerners, listen to this part, the Northerners are so religious enough that politically they do not support any infidel to be their leader. Under no circumstance or what have you, would they actually really like allow an infidel. An infidel is a person that is not Muslim. Doesn't matter who you are. Since you are not a Muslim, you are an infidel. But your 2023 charade that is considered as the worst of any of your charade elections or what have you in recent times, right? Yet the figures allocated by Yakubu, he gave Tifnumbu nearly 8 point, what? I think it's 8.6 or something million. He gave Atifku 6 point something million, a little bit over that of Obi, but then he gave Obi 6.1 million. Do you know that from that account, right, when you break it down, you know, in the north, when it is politically convenient for the politicians, northern Nigeria is one, including the middle belt. Then after that, the middle belt and other part of northern Nigeria, they are on their own. As in, yeah? So they have northeast, northwest, and north central. So the north central is the middle belt. And within that same north central, right, you see you have Niger. And then, yeah. So when they broke down their figure, allocated figures, Tifnumbu from that is 8 million allocated. There, you know, like about 5 or 6 million of that is from that northern Nigeria. That's where they cook the number from, right? Meanwhile, from the Atifku's number, 6.5 or thereabouts, I'm not sure the exact, but doesn't matter. Again, about 85 to 90% of that is from the northern Nigeria. When I say northern Nigeria, I mean the entire 19 states called northern Nigeria. Kwakwansop's total votes as allocated to him, if you remember, was somewhere around 1.3, 1.4 million or thereabout. Well, from that, 1.2, nearly 1.3 million of that was from northern Nigeria, in which about 1.1 million of that is from Kano alone.